Welcome back, Smutterflies.
Oh, happy Wednesday.
Merry Christmas Eve.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It feels weird doing this. We haven't done this in so long,
I know.
properly. In ages.
And we're not in the studio.
No. Oh yeah, I was like, it might look, but obviously for me it looks the same, but for you it doesn't.
We're sitting in my office. I've manoeuvred like my whole dining room table.
Literally, Sam's house is upended. Good job we don't do this every week in here.
Steve's going to come home tonight and be like, we've been robbed.
Yeah, literally.
Someone's at our dining table.
Someone's squatted in our house because Sam's dining table's in her office.
And all my office furniture is in my dining room.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Because we're live streaming, obviously at this point, like it would have happened, but after this, because it's the 19th of December, we're live streaming straight after this. So we needed a setup to live stream.
Yeah, and we weren't going out the garage because it is Baltic out there.
Yeah.
It's so fucking cold.
For our regular weekly recordings, we're usually only doing one episode.
Yeah.
So like for one, it's like...
I'll brave it.
But on like a Friday night just before Christmas...
Drinking.
Yeah.
I'm not sitting outside.
No.
And like there's nobody here for the dog, so he'll probably be screaming.
Yeah.
Nah, not happening.
Because like the live stream will probably be at least an hour, if not longer.
Yeah, knowing us.
So it was like essentially like, let's just say 3 hours in the garage.
Yeah.
Like my nose would be falling off from frostbite. Like it wasn't happening. So we treated ourselves to being indoors. Steve's not here, so we're upending his house.
Yeah, literally. I'm gonna have to put all this back at some point.
That's his problem for tomorrow.
What are you currently reading?
Technically nothing.
Ooh, what's coming up then?
Well, when I got in the car to drive over, I didn't have an audiobook, anything. So I was like, I I've got nothing. What's coming up? Honestly, I really I need to finish A Fate Woven in Gold, the third book, because I like started that. So I think I'm going to focus on finishing that over Christmas.
Nice.
And then what's coming up? Honestly, I don't know. I think I'm going to like just knowing with my like not much time that I have, I'm going to try and keep my calendar a bit open for like podcast reads.
Nice.
So Fate Woven in Gold will probably take me over Christmas.
Nice.
And then maybe in the new year I might consider just like, I said this to you the other day, I might just go really rogue and just like pick like, I don't know, just start something new. I really need to finish the Legacy series by Mercer K. Rowick. The fourth one just came out. So I think maybe I might do that over the new year. But I've just finished Brimstone, obviously, so I'm here today. I've actually just finished Caraval for my book club read.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah,
Stephanie Garber.
Yeah, it was short, sweet, like fun, enjoyed it. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I don't know if I'll read the next two.
Okay.
But I might jump straight to Once Upon a Broken Heart.
Nice.
And yeah, that's
Love
me.
that.
What about you?
I wanted to be finished. I wanted to be able to say, I'm not reading anything.
Oh.
But I am 87% in Air of Lies, which is LJ's second book in the Broken Souls and Bones.
Sure.
So I'm so close, and it's, oh my God, it's so good.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really wanted to be able to say that I'd finished it, but I haven't. But up next for me is Anna Applegate and Helen D'Amico's third book. Sorry, I've read 1 and 2. I'm going to do that next, and then I might do some more of Laura Carter's series. I've done Secrets of the Dead, which I absolutely loved. It was my author spotlight. I literally ate that up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I might do more of that series. I want to do Stephanie Garber's Once Upon a Broken Heart. I need to start the next Bonded by Thorns, which is what you were just talking about.
Yeah.
The Woven in Gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what Christmas is going to hold for me. Oh, I bought on audiobook, like used a credit on audiobook for the Arcane Academy by Elise Cover.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely going to do that as well for Christmas because I've heard good things. I had the book for my birthday, but I had a credit, so I was like, I'm just going to get it.
Yeah. I've got a credit on Audible. I might do whatever the second... Not Blood of Hercules, the second one.
Bonds of Hercules.
Bonds of Hercules.
Stunning.
Because I'm like, what have I got? Like, but then I did audiobook Anna Applegate and Helen D'Amico, and the second one, because I was holding off because the second one hadn't come out in audiobook. So actually, maybe I might audiobook that.
Such a good book. Such a good book. Book 2 really ramps up.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that might be on my TBR. And I need to do Mate.
Yes, I need to read Mate.
Yeah.
I've got it. I bought it.
Yeah, I'm
but
looking at it.
I just haven't picked it up.
Yeah, so many.
Yeah, lots of good books to read.
I know.
Anything going on in the world of books? Anything new to talk about?
I don't think so. No, I don't feel like anything's really been like happening as of recent.
No.
I'm glad that I've read Brimstone.
Yeah, got that off the plate.
Because I've just been so scared about seeing spoilers.
Yeah.
Because like I did have stuff spoiled for Onyx Storm.
It's a big old boy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's massive.
It's a big book.
So I am glad that I didn't get anything spoiled, because that happened with Onyx Storm. And it wasn't like a massive spoiler, but it was like enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I don't feel like there's anything like, no, I don't feel like there's been any big news really.
No. Well, as always, we're on Instagram and TikTok and Threads at A Pod of Smut and Wingspan. We're on Discord, sort of like a book club, kind of where we keep everyone informed of what we're doing. We're on Throne, which is like a crowdfunding platform. We're on Patreon. We do one Patreon exclusive a month, and for the highest tier, we do one live stream a month as well.
Yes.
Anything else before we get into it?
I don't think so. Oh, if you listen to this actually when this comes out, I'm just trying to think. It's the 24th, right?
Yep.
Christmas Eve. The 26th, which in the UK we call Boxing Day, not really a thing anywhere else, but we just call it Boxing Day. The paperback of Daughter of Stone is going to be going on discounted for the day on Amazon.
Ooh.
I don't actually know how much yet, but I'm thinking like around the £10, $10.99 mark.
Nice.
So like if anyone's looking to get the paperback, it's going to be discounted only for the 26th.
Yeah. So
mark your calendars.
Stunning. Little Boxing Day treat.
Yes.
Okay, why are we here?
I feel like this and Onyx Storm were like two of the most anticipated.
Yeah.
For us.
We were excited for Brimstone.
I was on edge, like so anxious reading this.
Can I just say this book is stunning.
Yes.
The gold fox on the front, stunning.
So cute.
The artwork, stunning.
Yeah. I got so I have that version, but I also got my my sister lives in the US, and I actually
your mum
didn't.
brought it back
Yeah,
too.
my mum went to visit over the last few weeks and brought it back as a present. Just was sorting Target, and she was like, "Oh, I know you really like this book." And Abby said that my sister was like, "I think the US one is different over here because the one that I bought obviously didn't look the same. She'd seen it." And yeah, she got me the US one. We've got the US one as well.
She didn't think of me though, did she?
No, but it's got like little paw prints on the side.
So sweet.
Really cute.
Where do we begin? I want to begin at the end, kind of.
Yeah, I feel like when I was like prepping my head for this before I came over, I was like, there's no way we can talk. Like, it's a big book. Like, Quicksilver was big. I think this is bigger, surely. There's no way we can talk about this chronologically.
No.
So, like, if you're here or if you like, we are full spoilers.
Yeah, as always.
And like, we will go straight in. We do not follow any chronological pattern. We'll talk about anything whenever. I am shooketh that we found Fisher's real name. Like, I knew it was coming. Like, obviously, it was set up that we needed to know it. But, like, I didn't expect it to be... It's not do you know what? I did expect it to be in the finale of this, but I didn't expect it to be so, like, this is it. And now he's just known by this name. Like, I did think that it would be a transition. In
our Quicksilver episode, I do actually say to you, I think Kingfisher was chose because of the bird's Kingfisher, and that's why the bird shows up on her after they, get it on for the first time. And it is because his mother could see Kingfishers. So I was so fucking right.
But then I haven't re-listened to our Brimstone predictions episode, but I remember things. I was like laughing when I finished this because essentially like 99.9% of what we predicted.
Yeah.
Like we were like not even like a little bit fucking close.
So starting at the end, which is where I want to begin.
Yeah.
I've got the quote ready.
The final line.
Who are you? Crave choked. Only half gods may wield shadows. Kaiden drew in a breath, ignoring the male's question. I've come for a dragon, as is my right. Summon our father. Tell him I've come to make a trade.
Yeah.
So, dragons first. Yay!
Yeah.
Excited for the next book because I fucking love a book with dragons.
Me too. I kind of forgotten that dragons were a thing.
Yeah, I forgot they existed in this world.
Because I know that's all they talk about in book 1 is Omnis Shakrai.
Yeah.
And that's the skull that's above Belkion's throne. But like, there's so, like, it's not that it, again, we wouldn't be talking about these books if we didn't love them. So this is no way like a dig. But like, there's a lot of world building in these books.
Well, I read somebody's review of Brimstone, and I think they summed it up really well.
Yeah.
Because they said Quicksilver is a romance with fantasy, but Brimstone is a fantasy with romance.
Yes.
And I do agree, we get a lot of world building, a lot of character layering in this book, considerably more than in Quicksilver, and considerably less romance in Brimstone.
Yeah, 100%. And I do feel like, even though probably technically scene for scene, there probably is more spice in this book than in book 1. But I agree that like spice doesn't equate romance. Because obviously like Saeris and Fisher are together.
Yeah,
like,
you don't need the yearning burning. You don't need the build up to that then.
No, but I will say I did expect that to be replaced by another couple.
Yeah, I thought somebody else would, like, you know, a mating bond would.
I just really saw something for Carrion.
Yeah.
I really, really needed that to happen.
Yeah. On the topic of Carrion, I have a couple of things. One, his grandmother.
Oh, it was really sad.
His grandmother.
Yeah.
Awful.
Really sad.
2, it wasn't long enough, Carrion and Kingfisher being in Silvaran.
I did think that would be like
I thought
2/3 of the book.
just like when they just like, I understood, you know, the point was to get her brother and they get him and they come back, so I do understand that, but I just thought it would be longer.
Yeah, I
and
did
like
as
more
well.
more would be tied to Silvaran.
Well, I think overall, because we obviously get the revelation that Silvaran is essentially one big fucking like magical room.
Yeah.
So I think like that obviously.
I don't know. I just thought we'd have more time there, and like like Elroy always knew.
Because I was thinking this, like, does that mean that Elroy is technically an alchemist? Because he said, like, oh, my father could hear the Quicksilver, like my grandfather, it drove them mad, like, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, does that mean that or does he just somebody who was, like, alchemically inclined, but not, like, a true alchemist?
Yeah, maybe. Because he doesn't talk about him here in the Quicksilver.
No, exactly.
And they essentially go back, obviously, to get her brother, but also to get Silver. They go back to get all the Quicksilver to bring so that she can make weapons and runes for everybody. I'm
not shocked, and I obviously, like, you're supposed to feel frustrated at him, but like Hayden was being such a fucking brat for most of this. Like, you're supposed to feel like that towards him, and I did appreciate him like towards the end saying like, look, I'm sorry, but some of the fucking things he said to her, like, oh, isn't it suspicious that we always had more? And she's like, yeah, because I was on my fucking hands and knees every week.
Yeah, I was in a sewer. Like, breaking into the fucking palace to feed you. I was starving.
Like, I thought this, like, it's a good fucking job Fisher didn't hear any of that.
Yeah.
Because he would have fucking chucked him back through the Quicksilver.
Yeah,
portal. Yeah, they should have left him in Silvaran. 100%.
Because didn't he realise that after she left, he didn't have anything?
Yeah.
So it was clearly her, like...
Yeah. And he was like, and then I think he says at one point, like, oh, like, I don't know who to be here, because I always felt like I knew who I was, and it was like, yeah, because Saeris fucking does everything for you. Like, you
weren't anyone in Silvaran.
Exactly,
like,
what was he? Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a bit of a piss baby, wasn't he?
Oh, 100%. 100%. Towards the end, sorry, so jumping, but it really stuck with me. Carrion's, I didn't expect it, but Carrion's like hesitation of declaring that he wants the throne, because he, like, you can tell, like, he wants it so badly on one hand, but then on the other he's so scared. And, like, I think it was after his, like, grandmother died. And I think it might have been... I don't know if it was something Fisher said or maybe something Saeris said, like, he's so alone. Like, he's never known his parents. His parents died before he can remember them. He's literally lived for, like, 500 years in Sylvaran with a line of people that have, like, just... He doesn't... Like, Carrion isn't even his real name. He doesn't even know it because they obviously...
The fact that she called him Carrion because somebody said, oh, it's probably Carrion, meaning, like, shit and
like,
rubbish.
like
and she
burnt,
didn't know that was what it meant. So she
Yeah.
was like, I'm going to call him Carrion. And it basically means, like, fucking shit and rubbish.
He's just, like, this nameless orphan for 500 years trying to find an identity, always knowing that he's the Dianthus heir, and then comes back and is, like... I think, like, once he gets a bit of, like, support and, you know, but the satyrs, how are we saying it? The things at the end, the, like, with the goat horns. Satires, is that how we're saying it?
Satyrs?
Yeah. When they're like, oh, we come to see the Dianthus king.
I know, and he's like, fuck no.
And what's so funny is, like, I think Laura says it, like, if you acknowledge that you are, you're essentially declaring war on Belkion. So, like, you can't say anything. And he just says, like, hi, nice horns.
Yeah. Hi, I like your horns. And they're all like, that's going to be in history as the first fucking thing that the Dianthus heir said to us. He's just, he's such a character. And, like, when they make the TV adaptation, like, I'm so interested to see who they cast as him. Because, like, right now I'm obsessed with him. But bad casting might turn me the other way. So I hope that it's somebody that I love.
I did think we were going to get Carrion POVs in this.
Yeah,
I really
me
did.
too. Yeah, me too.
So I had, like, royally fucking forgot about the whole dragon thing. So when Renfis is like, you need to come see what's crawled through, I was like, what the fuck has crawled through?
Yeah,
because I was like, what is it?
A demon, a monster.
I just didn't know. But obviously it's a fucking dragon. And it's the mother of the one that Fisher kills. Yeah. And that obviously goes down like a fucking lead balloon, doesn't it?
Yikes. I only text you one thing about this book. We only spoke about one singular plot line. Yeah. And it was Archer.
Oh, I know.
I was ready to fucking DNF. Yeah. When I thought that he was dying. Like, when we met Callie, humble brag, we've met Callie. When we did the Bath Literature Festival, I asked her, like, who's your favourite, like, non-substantial character? Because mine is Archer and the Fire Sprites. And it's as if she was like, oh, Sam likes Archer. Okay, I'm going to bring him to the brink of fucking death. Yeah. Oh my God, I was furious.
Well, Archer and Onyx. I was like, because obviously we got the, like, are they dead? But they're not with the Archer, with Archer. So then I was like, when it comes to Onyx, I just can't see him coming back. Like, do you know what I thought, right? I thought that she was going to bring him back, but he was going to come back as some big fucking wolf. You know what I mean? So she's like transformed him into this big fucking wolf. Yeah, it was really fucking sad. I'm still nervous for all of them endgame. I still think that some, like, people have got to die, right? Like, some people are dying.
It's a fantasy.
I'm so nervous for, like, who that's going to be. I'm surprised that Evelyn is still
in this coma type thing.
Yeah.
And it's his mother that's like,
she comes through. Yeah, it's wild. Crazy.
But then as soon as she started speaking, like, with another person's voice, I was like, this is going to be Fisher's mother. And then when he, like, comes in and is like, Saeris, why are you shouting my mother's name? I was like, yeah, I fucking saw that coming.
Were you shook to find out that Taladaeus was going to marry Evelyn?
Wild.
But the what was her name? The bitch. Zylvina. Zylvina. Yeah. Was his mate, and that's why that was when I was reading that scene when he's like laid her body out. That was so fucking sad.
When she's the one that Saeris makes kneel, and Saeris uses her as a footstool. Yeah. That's her, like, coming into her queendom moment, isn't it? She was fucking feral in that
She
moment.
was just a fucking bitch.
Yeah, no, she was. Like, she deserved it. But, like, from Saeris, I was like, oh, yeah, like, stake your claim as queen, babe.
Yeah, well, and as well, like, so it was much earlier on that it's actually mentioned that it says it really, like, casually that Taladeus went there, because obviously he was a highborn fae, he was like Fisher's friend, they grew up like 2 seconds away from each other, that Taladeus went there and turned because of his mate, and it says Zelvina, I think, at that point, but then it's like never broached again, and I was like, oh, like, but then...
Do you know, there's so many names.
Well, and also, this is not so much that confused me, but I'm almost positive it was mentioned. Why did Foley go? Because that sort of implied that was because he was following his mate. Or like, do you remember when Renfis is talking about it to Fisher and Renfis is really angry? Like, how can he do what he did? Like,
I thought he just got captured in enemy territory and
I'm sure there's some implication about there being a mate.
Okay.
So I'm like, well, who's Foley's mate?
Yeah.
Is it Renfis? Like, I don't know. It was, or was it Morel, which was Renfis's? Obviously, find out he had a twin sister that died.
Yes, yeah, maybe. I've obviously like skirted over that.
I feel like that it was mentioned. I don't think they were talking about Taladeus. I'm sure they were speaking about Foley. Or I thought it might have been Loreth, was, you know, one of them. Like, I thought one of them was going to be their mate. But then obviously, like, if Loreth and Ishbal don't, there's got to be something going on there.
There's a lot of tension there.
They hate each other too much for that not to be, like, a thing. Yeah. And the fact that they found a way to turn them back Fae. Because Taladeus is Fae now. He's full Fae.
Yeah.
But Fisher's mother's journal says to Saeris, don't do it.
Yeah. So why?
Yeah.
What's the reasoning?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like somebody's going to be on the brink of death and
she's going to need
Saeris
to turn
is
them
going to
or
need to
something.
turn them. So that's why she needs to...
I thought she was going to do that with Onyx as well.
Onyx. The mother's journal was interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because essentially the whole story is already plotted out by Kingfisher's mother.
Well, like within she's an oracle, isn't she? So
yeah. So like obviously like that's why. Like it's not just like she's not guessing. Like
well, but also what kind of was like really interesting is I think it says something like they've got to wait till they're at the White Cliffs. So then she waits.
Wait to the trade.
And then and then it's like, so what was the trade?
Well, that's the final line of the book, isn't it? Tell my father I've come to claim a dragon. I'm here to make a trade, and that's how it ends.
Oh,
so who fucking knows what the trade is?
So they're gonna. So did Renfis go through that portal with them? Was it just Saeris and Kingfisher? I think it was just Saeris and Kingfisher. I don't think she speaks about Renfis being there, but
no, I think it's just the two of them.
Okay.
Let's talk though about Saeris and Kingfisher.
Okay.
Because every time they bang, she gets a new tattoo.
Yeah, but then she gave one to Taladeus.
Yeah. I'm very confused by the tattoo rune situation.
It just
doesn't
stop, does it? They're going to be covered. She got like a big rose on her thigh at one point. Like
I'm a little bit confused. And then they had dream sex.
Yeah.
And she got a tattoo, but it happened in real life.
Yeah.
And
and that's how she finds him at the end, isn't it?
Does she give him her blood at that point? Is he injured and she gives him her blood? Am I making that up? Does that happen in this book?
I think he feeds off her, but not at the end. I think that's in the middle.
Yeah, is it when they have dream sex?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, and it works. And because he's been attacked by like that scorpion in Zilvara, and he wakes up and like Carrion's fucked and he's fine, and Carrion's like, how?
Yeah. So why? Like,
yeah.
Do you know how?
But then so this is the thing. The implication. So also, first things first is like, Fisher's always known that his power is not a Fae power.
Yeah.
Which is wild. And they obviously, this must be Easter egged in early on. Like, it probably says into Quicksilver, like, oh, there's been no other, like...
Yeah,
but then
probably.
but then he says his shadows is like his father's, because he talks about that story with his father trying to trade with that thing. So is the implication that his father wasn't Fae?
Or his leg. Yeah, well, if this is really his father and his father's not dead, then...
But then about like a few chapters prior, he's talking about his father, and he says like, oh, my father was so proper. Oh no, in the bonus chapter which you haven't read.
Yeah.
It's obviously after something happens with him and Saeris in Quicksilver, where he like wants to drink from her and wants to fuck her and he runs away. And he says, like, oh, if my father could see me, he'd be rolling in his grave, because, like, he was such a propriety of, like, he was so, like, proper.
So is that line figurative and not literal?
Or does he discover, and we don't know, in between Quicksilver and Brimstone, like, was there something discovered? I really thought we were going to find his father in Silvarin. I thought it was going to be Elroy. I really thought that Elroy was his father.
Yeah.
I really thought that.
Me too. That was one of our predictions, I think.
Yeah, but so does his father know that he's not Fae? And is that where he's been this whole time?
Maybe.
Because Fisher admits that he's been there.
Yeah, I was all very confused.
But again, right, sorry. This is where I'm getting a bit confused. Because is the portal that they've just gone through at the end a Quicksilver portal?
Don't know.
Because Fisher says...
Because doesn't she get a new rune and she doesn't know what it is? She doesn't know what it means.
And Fisher says, like, oh, when I was 12, Belkion found this and pushed... And that's how I got the first... The Quicksilver in my eye. Because he made me go... But then that implies that it's not a Quicksilver pool. Maybe I misread that.
Yeah, maybe. I can't recall.
Yeah, but... it does say that he went through it as a child.
Yeah.
Belkion made him go in.
Yeah. And that doesn't surprise me. Belkion's a prick.
And he spent like 2 weeks there and then came back out. So maybe during that 2 weeks, like, is this term father like figurative? Was he required to swear some kind of like...
Yeah.
Is
like
that
fealty,
how he got his shadows?
Yeah,
like,
maybe.
Because of those 2 weeks that he spent there when he was, a teenager.
Maybe.
But also not a coincidence. Like, obviously his father's got the shadows. So obviously, like... I just don't know.
Unless it's his grandfather.
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe, like, father is, like, a figurative term.
Maybe. We'll have to ask Callie.
Do we have a date for book 3?
Yeah, it's the same date as book 2, though, but in 2026. So I don't know whether if it's just a placeholder.
Okay,
yeah, it's whatever date. Say it came out the 21st of November. I can't remember when it did come out, but it's the 21st of November 2026.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's just a placeholder. I can't imagine them being on the same day, but I could be wrong.
I mean, a year's time is like...
Yeah, I could be wrong,
sick.
but yeah. I reckon we're going to be waiting more than a year.
Do you?
Yeah.
But didn't she say it's done? Isn't she writing like 4 and 5 at the moment?
Is she? I can't remember.
I'm so curious to know what the name's going to be.
Yeah. It's going to stick with elements, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like we're over the Brimstone thing in this.
Yeah. Like, we've only just really learnt about it and its properties. And
because obviously the only other Brimstone known was Archer, and that wasn't an option. And then Lorith says, like, you're going to have to get it from somewhere else.
Yeah.
And obviously he means this other hell, essentially. Yeah. But, like, what element is going to follow for book 3?
Well, I'm sure she's thought of it. she's much more clever than me, so...
Oh, yeah. I'm just... like, obviously some stuff has been explained, like, of course it has, but, like, I honestly feel like I come out of Brimstone with more questions than I did in book 1.
Yeah, I agree. Also really funny that his mother's journal, like, says, like, don't tell Kingfisher. Yeah. And then she's like, I'm fucking telling him. And then the next page is like, okay, Kingfisher, yeah, like, hand it back to Saeris. And it's like, haha, I knew you were going to show him. Wild.
Yeah, it was like all a test.
Sneaky little sneak.
Yeah. And wild that, like, all along his real name was, like, in a piece of paper underneath this statue in the house. Like...
Wild.
Yeah, because he says, like, I can't marry you because I don't know my real name.
Yeah, they can't be bonded.
So obviously I'm assuming, like, Lorith and Renfis... I think Renfis says this in book 1, that, like, they're not their real names.
Yeah, because, like, names hold power.
Yeah, you don't just say people's real names out loud.
Yeah.
So I wonder in book 3, are we going to have out loud everyone else referring to Fisher as Fisher, but then her referring to him as Kaiden?
Kaiden,
yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. And I'd love to know if we must find out Carrion's real name.
But does anybody... Is it in any records? Like,
he was 3, so I feel like...
okay.
You know.
Just want to know if there's, like, royal records of
I think there's probably somebody old enough that's been in not Zilvarin,
Avelia.
yeah, long enough, you know?
Time will tell.
Yeah.
So potentially next book, big fucking dragons.
I think Fisher's going to be riding a dragon, yeah. I think they're going to have a dragon on their side. Yeah.
But then what's the trade? What is he trading for the dragon?
Yeah. His fairness.
His shadows.
Is he going to come back as like full demon? Like, you know? Yeah. The brief feature that Belkion does make in this just reminds me of how much I fucking hate him.
He's such a prick.
Yeah, such a prick.
Really, really grates on my nerves.
Yeah. And I kept thinking, like, when I was reading it, like, oh, why is chopping his head off not going to kill him? And then I remember he's obviously done something with, like, him, Madra and Malcolm had all sort of got this, like, yeah, they've all obviously, they're not necessarily vampires, because they're obviously not, but, like...
Yeah, they've all pinky sweared to each other.
They've all done something to gain, like, immortality, and he's obviously one of them.
Yeah. Stupid fucking idiot.
So I wonder, like, with Taladeus now being Fae...
Yeah.
He's back in the gang.
Yeah.
Surely Evelyn's got to wake up in book 3.
I hope so.
Like, are we going to have this love triangle between, like, Taladeus, Evelyn and Renfis? Because, like, Taladeus is hot. Him walking around with his cock out in that vampire orgy bit, I was like, I genuinely thought, like, is this going to be why choose?
And carry on being like...
And like, the fact that, because when he gets her to come to the pub that he owns, the tavern, and he's like, I want to break, like, the ownership I have over you. I was like, this, whenever Taladeus and Saeris speak, and maybe it isn't intentional, but I think there's so much tension.
Oh my God, yeah.
And, like, I know that Fisher is endgame. I have but I did wonder, like, are we going to have this, like, but then... Fisher and Carrion have this big confrontation in Zilvarin, and he asks Carrion, are you in love with her? And he says, yeah, I am.
Yeah, and he basically says, like, who wouldn't be? Like, she's class.
Wild. I don't know. Like, it's obviously Fisher, right? Like, there's no...
Yeah, of course.
But... I don't know.
But I wouldn't be mad if it was somebody else.
I just think, like, I really want... like, the Fisher and Sarah shagging was lovely.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it in this. But, like, I do just need someone else now, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I need Carrion. Because him and Danya have obviously been doing it, right? That's so heavily implied, isn't it? Like, they like, constantly...
I thought you said that's so lovely and polite. I was
no.
Heavily implied,
no,
yes.
heavily implied,
sorry.
yeah. But, like, I need to see it, you know?
I want on page.
Yeah.
Give me Carrion's POV. Maybe it's going to be a bonus chapter that she puts out or something.
Maybe. But I didn't know this, so I had only listened to the bonus chapter at the end of Quicksilver, because when you audiobook, it, like, auto plays. But I didn't realise that all the bonus chapters, like, you kind of have to read them.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I wouldn't say the bonus chapter, like, sets up Brimstone, but it does tell you things. Like, the whole thing about Renfis' sister, it tells you that in the POV. So, like, I wouldn't say it gives you more insight, but it does, like, benefit. Now, having read the one at the end of this, it does make me think, like, oh, how is that going to tie into all of this, you know?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're watching on YouTube, you're going to be like, whoa. As a theme change.
Ooh, yeah.
And if you're listening, you're going to be like, wow, you sound really different, girls. So we started this episode and we ran out of time before we had to go live. So we had to put a pause. And now we're now finishing it remotely.
Yes. So if you're like, what happened?
Sorry for the chaos.
It's Monday and it was Friday. So you've just jumped 3 days.
Hi to us in the past.
Yeah.
I can't remember where we left off, so please forgive us if we repeat some stuff. We were drinking on Friday, so, you know, who knows what was coming out of my mouth.
Exactly.
But I think, like, in conclusion, I love Callie Hart and I love her writing. I love Quicksilver. This book was just a bit heavier on maybe like expanding some of the world and the different courts and, you know, setting us up for a future book, which I understand. Do I prefer Quicksilver? Yes. But that's not to say that I did enjoy Brimstone. There was Onyx dying and resurrecting. I'm not a resurrection fan.
No.
Not that I wanted Onyx to die, not at all.
No, it does. I think with the Onyx thing, like there was a sacrifice. It wasn't just like, oh, I'm going to bring them back and there be no like repercussions. Because she obviously sacrifices the rune or the symbol that the Hyrax gives her.
Oh, Hanrax,
Hadrax, yeah,
yeah, something like
that
that.
thing. But then that it had only given it to her like in this book. So I mean, look, like these are definitely things that are intentionally unfinished. Like they're not plot holes for 1 second. So like it could be in the next book that we're like, oh, like obviously. But I just think like I really enjoyed it, but I do feel like I know as little as I did when we finished Quicksilver.
And this is the thing, right? I will never poo-poo a book when it's part of a series that's unfinished, because if
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, this plot hole, like, babe, she's a successful author. Like, she knows what
yeah,
she's doing. Like,
yeah.
you know, if she's left a plot hole in, it's for a reason. So, like, I'm not for 1 minute coming in here and poo-pooing it. Interactions between Saeris and her brother, I just felt like it was really disconnected, and she was so desperate to get him back. And then when he was there, they were a bit like, meh, like, as if they were
Mhm.
like never siblings to begin with. It was really weird.
Well, I think
Renfist.
that's like I personally don't think they're siblings.
Ooh, dun dun dun.
Although Fisher does describe like all Fisher does is being like, oh, there's some family resemblance, like very little. And I can
Mm,
smell him on her, but is it just because they live together for all their lives? Like in the same way Carrion smelt of her, is it just close
mm,
proximity? Um,
maybe.
and all Fisher talks about when he's describing Hayden is how much they don't look alike. So I think that's intentional. I don't think they're related.
Okay,
Mhm.
interesting. We'll
Mhm.
see.
Mhm.
I do think this book is very much setting us up
Yeah.
for a series that I know we're gonna love. Like I said, I
Mm.
love Callie's writing, so like
Mhm.
I ate it up because I just really enjoy her way of writing. It was just
Yeah.
like you said, it doesn't really give us anything. I just think, you know, she's laying foundations.
Yeah, I think you're right in saying that this is definitely just more of a fantasy with a romance subplot, whereas I do feel like Quicksilver maybe wasn't that. Um, and I think as well, like it's one of those things like when you have an enemies to lovers trope in the first book, generally, depending, but most of the time, like for Saeris and Fisher, like they're mates. So by the second book, I'm not saying they're like completely happy married, but like essentially there's no more like will they, won't they?
Mm.
So you then obviously the plot turns more to like the fantasy and the world building and the lore setup and the political intrigue, which I loved all of that. I loved like the political intrigue within the blood court. Like I loved Taladeus stepping in, like I really enjoyed it. I think Taladeus really shone for me in this.
I
Although
agree.
I was really expecting there to be some kind of like why choose, I'm not gonna lie.
Mm.
I think it's just yeah, it's just like, you know, it's a stepping stone to the next book, I think is, you know, and it's what is it, a 4 or 5 book series, so I can understand
Mm.
that not every book is gonna be like bang bang bang.
Yeah, and like I said, you know, you've got a world build in some way, shape, or form, and the last book ended with her being in the Blood Court, so this book had to expand on that. So we had to have the
Mhm.
world building behind it because we didn't know much about it. We'd only
Mhm.
had Zilvarin and, you know,
The
wherever
Winter
Fisher's
Court,
from.
yeah. The
Yeah,
Winter
yeah, wherever.
Kalish, yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, we had to build on that and have world
Mhm.
building surrounding the vampires and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I'm not mad at it. Nice. I gave it 5 stars.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Same.
Like, I love Callie's writing. It's not,
Mhm.
I don't know.
I just think like I mean, I think it's a prime example of like House of Flame and Shadow, right? When you have books that are so highly anticipated by like the masses, so we're not just talking like personal preference. I think they become such a like, and in a good way, because I mean it was a huge fucking release, right? But it
Yeah, yeah,
becomes
yeah.
such a like it becomes such a thing that I do feel like for some people they almost literally overhype it for themselves, and I think they get themselves so set in their ways of like what they are expecting from a book, and ultimately like you're in it for the ride. You're not in it to be like, I want to be proven, I want to be able to guess what happened, because that
Yeah.
actually, it's the story is the story. And I do feel like, I think this just kind of like, I wouldn't say it's not fell victim, because like it's done fucking amazing. It hit #1 charts, like absolutely smashed it out the waters. But like I think that's what causes this thing amongst people. Like, you know, we don't on here often get into like the internet there, because it's just there. But I
Yeah.
was seeing people like 2 days in, 10% like thinking of DNFing, and it's like, come on, like are we really? Because like, what were you expecting in the first 10%? Like, I really don't. I really, and the thing is, like, I can guarantee you, if you compared Quicksilver to this beat for beat, that like probably just as much happens in the first 10% of Quicksilver as it does in the first 10% of Brimstone. I think it's just because people's like when they're going into the first book, generally most people hadn't read Callie Hart prior to Quicksilver, or in the romantasy genre anyway. So like there's almost like not that like expectation. And then I find people are just like, if it's not like blowing me out the waters, 5 stars in 10%, and it's like, I don't know what you expected. Like,
Yeah.
because I don't think not like Quicksilver's an excellent book. I'm not saying that it doesn't do that, but like this is fantasy at the end of the day, right? You are not getting like like you got to let it cook, you know?
And also, it's a big book. You can't be
Yeah,
all gas and no
seven
breaks for a book this big.
700 pages, like,
Like,
you
let me
know?
catch my breath. I mean, it's 4.2 on Goodreads.
Yeah, it's done really well. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
it literally hit the #1 charts on Amazon before it even released. It was a New York Times bestseller. Like, I just think like when people, I think again, House and Flame and Shadow is a prime example. When people don't love it, they make a really big point of being like, I almost feel like nowadays, and this is getting on the whole thing, but being controversial about popular books is like, do you know what I mean? I'm not
Trendy.
saying people
Yeah.
aren't, yeah, but it's trendy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, I just think, and I'm not saying if you genuinely read it and finished it and it wasn't for you, like, absolutely. Like, we're not, there's been some hugely popular fantasy books, romancy books that we've read, and we didn't love them, we didn't like them, but you just like, I don't know, I wouldn't make it like my personality to be like, I DNF this
Yeah.
book. Well, like, I
Like,
wouldn't, it's different now as being an author, but even if I hadn't become an author, like, I just wouldn't, you know?
yeah, no, like people just like to argue as well, don't they? Especially on the
Yeah.
internet when nobody can see you, when you're just in the comments. Like,
Well, and
no
also, like,
offense to anybody that does that.
if you're going to post a story or a post that's like, I might DNF Brimstone at 10%, think of like the interaction that's going to get for your algorithm, you know?
Yeah.
Much more than you posting, oh, here's my 5-star review of Brimstone. Not that there's anything wrong with that, because like that's great and it's genuine and we should keep posting genuine reviews. But like, it's just for the, I'm not saying it's just for the clicks, but I just think like,
Well, and also, like, we have been very, very clear that we're never gonna bash authors online. So, like, you're
no,
never gonna come to our page and see us talking about DNF in a book or
no,
why I didn't like this book or anything like that. Like, that's not us. Like, the only time we ever read 1-star reviews is like for comedic value and not like to be like, oh, look at this 1-star review, look how bad this book is. Like, that is
yeah.
just like not our gig, not what we're here for. So like, hats off to Callie for a fucking #1
I
bestseller.
know. This is the thing. Like, she's crying all the way to the bank. So, like,
Yeah.
good for her.
Give me more Carrion, give me more Kingfisher, give me more Taldeus.
And you know what, right? This is again, I'm getting really like in on this. But I just think like, I think it's also a big thing is like overconsumption. I think that's a really big thing. And I think like, you know, because people want like a completed series, they want it now, they want this, and this. And there's nothing wrong with wanting books like that, right? There's some authors that churn out like 10, 15, 16, 17 books a year. Fantastic. If that's what you want, then great. But like, it takes a long time to write high fantasy series. And like, I think as well, like this is the type of series that's really popular, that is being like literally we're reading it book by book, as opposed to like, if you've got back into this genre like we did, a lot of the big series have been completed, like Plated Prisoner, Throne of Glass, like they're done, or like Akatar's at least like 5 books in. And I just think this is as big as those books, right? And the only other one I feel like I could compare it to is Fourth Wing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And again, like for us, like we didn't love Iron Flame. We really didn't. Like it didn't really hit it for us. But then we loved Onyx Storm. I absolutely loved it. So like I don't think being a bit like, okay, after book 2 is like a sign that it isn't a excellent. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not a sign that isn't an excellent series. I just think people are so used to being like, gimme, gimme, gimme. I want like,
So when I read Throne of Glass, I did Assassin's Blade first, and then I did Throne of Glass, and I was like, okay, like
same.
B has said I have to read this, so I was like, I'll just keep going. And obviously, I fucking love Throne of Glass as a series, but like, was I mad about Throne of Glass the book? Not really. But I'll never say a bad word about Throne of Glass the series, because any plot holes that are in Throne of Glass, Sarah ties up in the next 6 books or however many books it is. So like, I don't know. I just try not to open a big gob about things that aren't finished, because
100%.
authors will come round and
I think it was good. I really enjoyed it. Like I just, I really
flew through
enjoyed
it. When I texted you to say I was finished, you were
did.
like, what the fuck?
I know. I'd started it way before you, and I was still like 50% of the way through. I was like, I really enjoyed it. Like I did really enjoy it. But like, is Quicksilver still my favorite book thus far? Yeah, but we're 1 out of 2. Like, sorry, 2 out of 2. Like,
Yeah, like it
you
was a
know?
50-50 chance anyway that it was going to be Quicksilver or Brimstone.
Exactly. Literally say it louder. Like I just think like I just don't get the anyway, but I don't like to feed the
Yeah, I know. We've gone off on a right tangent here.
we have. But yeah, I'm just really excited to see what the next one brings. I'm looking forward to release date, and and you know what? I say this all the time. It's not that I enjoy series finishing, but I actually do like it because I like being able to read something in completion, because I think you get like a new love for it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, if you read Quicksilver, Brimstone, whatever book 3 is, book 5, whatever, in quick succession, you might have a completely different opinion
of
on
book 2.
Brimstone.
And do you know what? Right, sorry, this is getting so into the nitty gritty, right? But a lot of people that don't love Mist and Fury read it as it came out. And again, like that's our favorite book. But like, imagine if we read it when it came out. It genuinely might not have been. We might have been like, okay, But like now, because we've a completed, I'm not saying completed series, but like
The her and recent stories wrapped up.
like it's literally our like favorite book of all time. Yep.
Time will tell. I am not making any rash judgments. It was a 5-star read for me. I love Callie and I love her writing.
Amen. So join us next week for it's going to be our Reads of the Year, which was our live stream on Friday. It's going up unedited. It's 2 fucking hours of us yapping shit for 2 hours. There's toilet breaks, there's dogs barking, there's me burping. Yeah. Much fun to be had, but like we said, it's going up unedited, so that is going to be on New Year's Eve episode. And then as of the first episode back in 2026, who knows?
We know.
Do we?
Well, we've discussed it.
Have we?
Well, we said that our first episode of the year will be our anticipated reads for the year.
Oh, is it? Okay, there we are. Lovely. There's no recollection of that conversation. Sorry.
Yeah, because if you remember, I said we'll do anticipated reads of the year. We'll do Daughter of Stone.
Oh, okay.
Then we'll do like a fun bookish episode, like something not about a specific book. And then we'll do a reading roundup of the month, because we're going to try and do that at the end of every month.
Yes,
where we just like chat.
Yes, yeah.
We talk about
we're
what we've read
try
that
and
month.
have more structure month on month.
Yeah,
is the plan.
Yeah, so I planned January and I told you what the plan was.
Okay.
So first episode back would be our anticipated reads for 2026, what's coming out in 2026, what we're hoping to read, what we're hoping to cover on the podcast. Don't take us at our word because things change, things crop up, but like we'll give you like a sort of overview of what we're looking at for the year, and it'll be fluid and ever changing.
Love it. Yes. Love it.
So if you're watching, listening on release day, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Because this
tomorrow.
comes out
It's Christmas Eve.
Yeah, Christmas Eve.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's Christmas Eve. So Merry Christmas. Enjoy your day, however you spend it, whatever Christmas looks like for you. And we'll see you on New Year's Eve.
Yes, we'll see you next week.